Peace, peace, peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother, man. Say I know. Yeah, man. Be back. We back. Alright, so I wanted to come say a few words about divination. That's basically what this channel is on. God speaks back, meaning God speaks back to you when you seek God out to have a conversation. Right? You know, as well, God speaks to you when you prepare yourself to receive God's word. Right? You know, we can listen to someone talk. We can believe that person. You know, we can even listen to them talk, postpone our belief, do some research, and get information that way. We can read a nice book, get some information that way. You know, we can go into trance after we have purified our nadis, eat some good food, or don't eat for a while, right? Fasted, did some good qigong to lift our life force, and receive a message. These are the ways God speaks as well, right? So, but divination, you know, when, you know, it's not expedient to, you know, sit down and go through a 4-day yoga fasting qigong binge in order to get a revelation, right? Sometimes you just need to get an answer right there and there. So then you have oracles, right? So oracles, divination devices. You have different kinds of oracles. All oracles are not created equal. There are some oracles that represent a lower tier, right? And, you know, a lower tier of information that it reveals, right? You know, your best oracles are oracles that are going to tell you something about what to do with your spirit in order to get the result that you're looking for. An oracle is only ever as good as the questions that are asked to it as well. You know, so if you're asking about how can I get this job or make this money or doing this external thing, what's up with this person over here, why this person does this over here, or how come, you know, this person, or, you know, if you're asking these external type of questions to a high oracle that speaks spiritual knowledge, spiritual truth, then you're committing misuse of the oracle, right? You know, there are times when, you know, you might be able to throw some bones and get a good stock tip, you know, and there's certain oracles for that. Certain oracles are better than others for that. But, you know, ultimately, if you're not sitting down with the oracle on a cyclical level, weekly, monthly, yearly, and saying, you know, comment on the condition of my spirit and receiving the answer, then you're not doing what you could be doing in terms of getting some good food, right? Some good spiritual food, right? The oracle is only as good as the individual that uses it. So if you don't know that you need to, you know, life is again, you know, I'm from the, you know, my base is ancient Kemet. You know, basically what we're about is self-mastery. We come to this earth to master this animal, right? All this is animal. You know, we got animal mixed with deity within us. You know, we are spiritual beings that come put on an earth suit. Earth suit is made of animal. So along with it come animal responses, conditions, emotions, sensitivities, etc. As well as all of the, you know, the TEMs or the negatives of the various faculties that we have in us, right? You know, so, you know, it's all a process of taming this thing. We have to tame this thing, you know, before we check out or we didn't do the right thing. You know, we're wasting our time here if we're not asking about how can we grow this thing. So, used properly, the oracle is a spiritual guide, nothing less, a spiritual teacher. But you are responsible for the lessons that it's going to give you by the questions that you ask, right? So that's why, it's important to have an inkling of your kind of mandate to grow while you walk this earth plane. Um, you know, again, high and low oracles. So, a lower oracle is gonna, it might tell you, like, I don't want to bash nobody's, mode of divination or anything like that. But let me just say what a high oracle is. A high oracle is that is a tool that's gonna, again, show you how to employ or what to employ at a given moment. Take the Metu Neter, for instance. You say, what must I do to be a better father to my child? And you get your reading, right? Now you have a focus. Your reading says Oser, or your reading says Heru, or your reading says Harukahuti, right? These are various aspects of the spirit that the oracle is now pointing you to, that you have to work here in order to, make progress with your child. Oser is telling you to, now you have to be still. You have to learn how to be neutral, how to, discipline your child in a way that is, that doesn't hurt your spirit or the child's spirit. You have to be neutral. You receive a Heru. You have to make sure you're getting your leadership proper. Your leadership is proper. Make sure you're guiding the youngster and leading that youngster the correct way. Make sure you're providing for the child. Make sure that's your responsibility. You understand that child as a responsibility. And you're meeting his needs, etc. Harukahuti, you might now have to be more of a disciplinarian. Maybe you need to be a little bit more harder on the child. A little less TV, a little bit more, schoolwork or whatever it may be. You might have to, show a harder front or disposition towards the child in that case. So, these are just off-the-cuff examples of what an oracle, what the Metu Neter might say to you, and how you, now need to turn to the mirror and say, okay, oracle says I have to do this. All right, well, let me do this. Let me up my Heru. Let me up my Oser. Let me do whatever this oracle is telling me, that I can go ahead and make some progress with my child. And I know for a lot of people, people, if you're not exposed to this oracle, it's sometimes going to be hard to believe that this oracle would give you counsel that will speak to your life in that way. But it's real. It's real. I'm not a gullible person, and I ain't been using this oracle for 30 years because I'm gullible, right? I'm very, very keen and looking out for, I'm a Scorpio, my mind is, I'm a detective, I'm going to cut through the thing to get to the meat, and I'm vegetarian, so, but yeah, I tend to be cutting with my perception of things, and, if the oracle was phony, I'd have figured that out a long time ago. No, this oracle speaks to your life. Speaks to my life. I could break down my incarnation objective for you, and you say, "Oh yeah, I think maybe you're right." Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna get into that type of stuff, breaking down readings and things. But yeah, I wanted to hit. This is like 101 divination right here. What type of questions are you asking the oracle, or questions to get an objective understanding of what your spirit looks like in time intervals. Oracle tells you, okay, this cycle you need to work on Oser. So you work on Oser. You get your Oser mantra, you get your own, and if you are diligent, It's like with any student in any school, you know. If you approach this teacher, this classroom, as a proper student, you know, do the work, then you'll get results. You'll get results. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, I think I've pretty much touched most of what I wanted to touch on this little speak. And yeah, you know I can ramble, so let me not ramble. Let me go ahead and cut. But yeah, you know, just a little word on divination and why we get into that. You know, don't be spooked out. You know what I mean? I know, you know, some of y'all still on the shelf. You know, you might be, ooh, that's demonic. I got a video about that. Go check that out. But yeah, um, yeah, no, this is you know, provided you have an oracle that's giving you spiritual counsel, an Ifa oracle, an I Ching oracle, you know, the Metu Neter. These are, you know, oracles that are going to tell you which part of being to employ. That's what you want. You know, you don't want just an oracle just to tell you a fortune, you know, a fortune telling device, or, you know, yes or no, or, you know, these are, you know, lesser oracles. Um, you know, yeah. So yeah, you want to use the oracle right. You want to, you know, don't ask on, you know, like other people's stuff. You know, that's when the oracle's going to trick you up, because you're not supposed to be going there anyway. You know, if this person is not your child or your mother or your someone close, then it's not your business. So you'll go through the process, but you won't receive information, not real information. You know, you stick to your own circle, stick to your own mirror. You know, when you're dealing with an oracle, you know, you want to stay away from asking about a whole bunch of mundane things. You know, like I said, every now and again, you know, if you're not abusing that, you know, then, you know, it may be proper to ask about a particular direction you might want to go on a mundane endeavor. But, you know, understand what the oracle's for. It's to grow you. Tehuti, he's here to grow you. So, respect. Alright, that's all I got for now. Peace, peaceful people. Y'all be easy. I'm gonna get back.